guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Daisy, and if you're not new here, my name is still Daisy, and today we're going to be talking about a Disney show that got itself cancelled way before it was even released this year. Now, if you don't know what show I'm talking about, if you don't know what movie I'm talking about the new Snow White movie starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot. Now, if you're wondering what kind of controversies has come out surrounding the Snow White movie, if you haven't seen anything on the internet or you haven't seen the movie, then keep watching and I'll explain everything to you in this video. Okay, let's get into it. Now, in 2016, when the movie was released, there was quite a few good reviews looking forward to the movie. Now, it wasn't until 2021 when it was announced that Rachel Zegler would be playing Snow White that a lot of people felt offended in some kind of way that she would be playing a white character as a Latina woman. And I would just like to say, to anyone that holds that opinion, a lot of it is on the kind of right side of politics. Anyone that holds the opinion that this person shouldn't play this person and they don't look similar in any way, or they don't represent some of the same values, whatever you want to say, I would like to say to you, to the camera, personally, from my personal opinion, Snow White is not a real person. Snow White is not real. I just wanted to clear that up before we got into the actual controversies surrounding this movie, that if you think one of the controversies is Rachel Zegler getting cast as Snow White and that is a big problem to you, grow up. Snow White is a fictional character. It's not like she's playing a historical figure. It's not like she's playing someone where they're trying to be historically accurate. Snow White was made up. Sorry to tell you. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get into some actual casting controversy that the movie has found itself in. Now, if you don't know, the whole premise of Snow White is girl is hunted by evil witch that doesn't like the fact that she's more beautiful than her and more worthy of being a queen than her, and she befriends a band of 7 dwarves. Now, the whole controversy surrounding the dwarves is another whole thing, but first we're going to get into the first controversy that's actually a controversy and actually controversial, and that is deciding to cast Gal Gadot as the evil queen. Now, don't get me wrong, Gal Gadot is one of the most beautiful women in the entire world. So gorgeous, so gorgina, so beautiful. But with acting like this,
and enough champagne to fill the Nile,
a lot of people were very confused. A lot of people give Gal Gadot a lot of shtick for her acting, and that's understandable because she can't act to save her life. And a lot of clips around 2022, 2023 were, talking about Gal Gadot being cast. When she was initially cast in 2021, people were excited because it was the same era that she was getting cast in everything, Wonder Woman, things like that. But when clips of the actual movie started coming out, people started going back and looking at Gal Gadot's performances and comparing them and realizing that she plays the same character in every movie. And I mean, from the clip I just showed you, you can see what her range is like. So a lot of people from about November 2021 have had a problem with Gal Gadot being cast in Snow White. Now, a lot of people have actually used the fact that Gal Gadot was cast to kind of hate on Rachel Zegler again, putting them side by side and being like, this evil queen is jealous of this person for being the fairest of them all. And it's like just like underlying racism, underlying like just misogyny, classic men on Facebook. But yes, a lot of people have found it controversial that Gal Gadot is in the movie because a lot of people are under the impression that Gal Gadot cannot in fact act, which is the first controversy, apart from the ridiculous Rachel Zegler controversy that the movie had found itself in at the time. Now, in January 2022, Peter Dinklage actually went on the Mar Marone's WTF podcast and talked a lot about his problems with the actual original story of Snow White and the fact that they've seemingly tried to keep a lot of the original story in the new adaptation. Now, if you don't know who Peter Dinklage is, he is a very, very famous actor that has dwarfism, and he's played roles in Game of Thrones and many other really reputable roles. But now he went on this podcast and he said he had a problem with the portrayal of dwarfism in this movie. Now, he has a lot of problem with the original story, suggesting that people with dwarfism live in a cave together and is kind of a butt of a long-running plot line. But he also made it very abundantly clear that he had a problem with the fact that they decided to keep a lot of these elements in, and he also had a lot of problem later on in the line with the casting of said dwarves. Now, a lot of other actors with dwarfism have come out and spoken out against this whole controversy around the 7 dwarves in the movie. Firstly, because of the backwards storyline and storytelling that they live deep in a cave somewhere away from society. Another controversy relating to the 7 dwarfs is the fact that they only hired 1 actor with dwarfism and the other 6 were played by actors without dwarfism, which these actors said not only takes away vital roles for actors with dwarfism because they rely on roles such as this in a world, in an industry that really doesn't give them a lot of opportunities, so they felt kind of hurt by the fact that it would be an obvious choice if they were going to portray the 7 dwarfs in this way to not cast actors with dwarfism. It kind of makes a lot of sense. So a lot of actors with dwarfism were very, very angry at this fact, not only for the portrayal of the people with dwarfism, but also the fact they didn't even think to consult members of the dwarfism community, even though they did release a statement. Disney released a statement saying they were working very closely to the dwarfism community, but not close enough for them to actually hire actors with dwarfism that in any other circumstances would be pushed back because of their condition to work in certain places, and this would have been a really good opportunity for 6 actors with dwarfism to get their big break. But a lot of people had a problem with this. How do people know that it was just 1 person with dwarfism and 6 people without dwarfism? Because photos were actually leaked in July of 2023 of the behind the scenes production of the movie. Now, it wasn't until about August of the following year that people found another controversy surrounding the movie, and that was the fact that Gal Gadot was staunchly pro-Israel. Now, Rachel Zegler herself, the person playing SnowWhite, is very pro-Palestine. Gal Gadot is an Israeli woman and she is pro-Israel. Not only is she pro-Israel, she also served in the IDF, which is the Israeli Defense Force, and even though that's mandatory and you have to do that, when she spoke about the IDF in old interviews and things that people looked back on, she talked about how fond her memories were there and how much she enjoyed her time there. And she also has made many pro-Israel comments. And not to say that you can't be proud of the fact that you're Israeli or proud of the fact that you're from Israel, but in this political climate, in this time that we're finding ourselves in, where a war crime is being held in a country, a lot of people gave her backlash. A lot of people criticized her for announcing pro-Israel rhetoric on the internet. So not only were people very mad that she got cast because she's a bad actress, but people were very mad because she held pro-Israel stances and pro-Israel opinions and made that known, and people were not happy with that idea because a lot of people, especially in the media, especially in the acting realm, are pro-Palestine. And so not only did other normal people have a reaction to this, but you could tell the dynamic changed within the actual actors themselves when this came out. And that really caused a lot of problems in terms of the actual production of the movie, but also the promotion of the movie. You could tell they didn't really get along with each other, and so it really hurt the promotion of the movie because people were a lot less likely to share clips and make content about interviews and content around the movie if it looks like the people don't have a good relationship, because it's not good for internet content. And although it's not really about internet content, it's about, political views and something important that's going on in the world. When you are here to promote a movie, one of the biggest things is how can you make a TikTok edit? And as sad as that is, that's really where a lot of the promotion for this movie kind of was let down. And this bled even into 2025 when they finally premiered the movie in March, where in Los Angeles they cut down promotion so much that they didn't even allow journalists there. They didn't allow any kind of coverage of the actual premiere. The actors still went, they still watched the movie, but a lot of it was really toned down. A lot of it was really pulled back. And that is because of all of these controversies culminating to a movie that not a lot of people were actually really excited about anymore. Now, there were a lot of changes to this movie according to Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler, when she was interviewed in 2021 about her casting and about where the story is being taken, about a lot of the controversy surrounding the outdatedness of the actual story, she said that they were planning to make it fresh, they were planning to make it a feminist spin on the original movie, and a lot of people seemed kind of excited for that, although a lot of people were still saying she shouldn't have been cast, but you know, people are going to say whatever they want. The thing is, when it finally came out, it'd been so long, it'd been after the actors' strike, it'd been announced for so many years, so many controversies around it, the fact that Gal Gadot was in it, a lot of people were not interested in it anymore. And so even though it did, you know, like a Disney movie would do in the box office, it's not really socially like a really successful movie. And I thought it was really interesting that a movie that was backed by Disney was, you know, in the trajectory of being one of the biggest Disney movie releases in a while, in a few years, that it had so much controversy surrounding it that it caused it to really kind of not do that well in terms of reception. So I just thought that was interesting to look at and tell you guys about if you didn't know. Okay guys, that is my Snow White movie video. Now if you want to see me react to Snow White, I would love to do so. If you want to see me react to any other movies, please do let me know. And if you want to see me do any more videos about the controversies surrounding Disney franchises or movie franchises in general, I definitely will do that, because every movie has some kind of controversy in the production. No movie is made completely flawlessly, and it's my job to go out and find out what the tea is, find out why they hate each other, find out what's going on. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will definitely 100% see you in the next one.